Hello and welcome back to Goswick Lane, but we've named this podcast itself with me and you is going to be like what, real estate with the big head or something like that.
Big head on Goswick Lane.
Something.
We just got to change it.
Something. We just need to have consistency on whatever your podcast. Have you named that yet?
Yeah, I named it Big Head Realtor Longview. I'll go back and check. In the next video podcast, I'll make sure that we have it.
Okay. All right. If you can find us on at some point we'll be on Apple, Spotify, Pandora, all those things for the podcast too.
Yeah, it's on most of them, but Apple, because Apple
it's difficult.
It's difficult.
Yeah, but it'll be on there eventually, right?
Yeah.
So he's working on that same show that you're seeing right now on YouTube, but just maybe a little bit easier to access when you're driving down the road or working out or.
I listen to it on Amazon Music because I have that app. So
mowing the grass, taking a shower, whatever. Yep. Whenever you want to listen. We appreciate you guys being here today. Genty, I got some questions for you.
Okay, I'm ready to answer some.
You are a super successful real estate agent.
Overrated.
Good-looking dude by your own standards, right, when you look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Funny, successful, all those things. You've been successful. I hate labeling the term successful, just by the way, because success is measured in different ways. But we're just going to say financially successful in what you've been doing for a while now.
Right.
Why in the world are you not a broker yet?
I get that question all the time.
Do you really?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, and I don't know the exact guidelines of how many years you have to be in. I think it's 4 before you start doing your broker's license.
Okay.
One major thing is...
Wait, let's go back a little bit. What is a broker compared to just a real estate agent?
A broker's the head, us as an agent, our sponsoring broker is the person that holds all the weight. So they hold the risk. They, have the brick and mortar. They, can hire the agents on. Even though we're 1099, they have the ability to sponsor agent or not sponsor an agent. So they're the ones who take on the responsibility and have all of the things underneath their
So
license.
They have the office, they have the facilities, they have the brokerage, which is what you work under. Mm-hmm. You work under Ramsey Realty Brokerage right now. You've actually yourself have kind of not, I don't know if the correct term is sponsored, but you bring new agents on and mentor them through the process of being a new agent, correct?
Yeah, so I'll help facilitate bringing a new agent on or seasoned agent on. Most of them have been new agents, but kind of take them under my wing. I always tell people that I was new at one point too, and so why not help someone else? That's just my thinking.
Okay, so you're already doing that. You're already mentoring and leading other agents. So why not a brokerage for you? Why are you not interested in pursuing that?
I think the main reason why I don't want to be in the brokerage or be a broker is just because of the politics. Politics, you have agents that you have to take care of and make sure that there's no fighting back and forth in the office. You have
want to talk about that?
A lot of agents are prima donnas. Is kind of the way that I do.
It's a typical thing.
I've been known to be a little needy at times with my brokerage, and so I just don't want to. Right now, real estate's fun.
Yeah,
and I'm having fun, and I'm meeting new people, and I feel like being a broker that pulls a lot of that away.
It's like the true business side of the real estate, right? And
correct.
You're managing not employees, but people that are responsible to you.
Well, and represent your name.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm the only person that represents my personal name.
Yeah.
And then I represent Ramsey. So Ramsey has to make sure that I'm not doing anything that's going to poorly impact their brokerage.
True. And they're making sure that how many other agents are in Ramsey?
We probably have about 25.
Okay.
22, 25.
Yeah. So they're responsible for making sure everybody's upholding their image and and there's a lot of things that you can mess up in real estate, right?
there's a lot of things that you can mess up. There's a lot of things that have to be, that the brokerage is really responsible for training on. So you got to do trainings. You have to, we have an employee up front who helps us, Kaylee. She's our marketer. A lot of brokerages don't have that. So we have that plus. That's a plus for our brokerage.
Okay.
And it just helps.
Yeah. So what kind of money could you make running a brokerage? Let's say you got I don't even really know how to break the numbers down, but financially, would it be worth it for a top agent to start their own brokerage?
I mean, if you wanted to do that, yes, it's probably profitable. I mean, it's going to be profitable
if you're good, but being a really good real estate agent, I would imagine, doesn't always translate into being a really good brokerage.
No, because there are people that are really good agents that can't run a brokerage.
Yeah,
there are people that know how to run their real estate business, but they don't know how to run a business.
Yeah,
and if you can't run your business, then you don't have any of it.
Yes,
and you just have to. I think for certain people, if you were a real estate agent, you may want to become a broker because you like managing people. And maybe you love selling, but you don't love selling like I love selling.
Yeah.
And so it's just not made for everybody.
Yeah.
I think that you could have a good following. I could have a good following base if I did have my broker's license. But another big thing about it is that I have a lot of people that ask me why I don't move. And it's because I love my people.
Yeah.
I love Ramsey. There's nothing wrong with it. They've helped me from the start.
Yeah.
That's the first place. And they're just great.
They're loyal to you.
I'm a very loyal person.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about is the grass greener on the other side.
Yeah. Because you can, if you really want to grow and you dedicate yourself to being a really good salesman, you can do that in any brokerage.
You can do that in any brokerage. And this is what I always tell people. Imagine that you have started a business, Shane, and that business is at 123 Loop 281.
Mm-hmm.
And you build this phenomenal business, and then you pick it up and you move it to Tyler.
Okay. Yeah. It's different.
All your people are going to be coming to that 123 Loop 281.
Yeah.
But you're in Tyler now.
Yeah. You just
Same
start
thing
over.
Real estate. Correct. I mean, it's not the exact same, but
yeah,
it can be that. They've been people have recognized you from what you're marketing, and if you go to a different market, they can make assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
There can be stories behind it.
Oh, always.
A bunch of different things. So I think that for me, the short answer is that I love being a real estate agent.
Mm-hmm.
I love meeting new people, and I want to dedicate my time to only have to worry about myself.
Yeah.
And
now you say that because you've had experience on the other side, right?
Correct.
You've run businesses.
Correct.
And understand what it takes to manage people.
Correct.
Did you love it?
The business side of it, yes. Managing people, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are different now than, from the time that my brother and I were very young. We had a hotel on Highway 80 that when we were 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, at night we were renting the rooms.
Okay. You were.
Me and my brother.
At 8, 9, 10.
Correct. Next morning we were cleaning the rooms with my mom.
Okay.
Doing sheets, doing that. So I've been around business. We've, grown that. And when my dad was still alive, we had 6 hotels.
Yeah.
So we grew up in that business and did that. But that's a 365 business.
Yes. Nonstop.
24/7. Desk clerk doesn't show up, you're working the desk. Housekeeping doesn't show up, you're doing the housekeeping.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of work. And how do I want to make my money? Easy or hard?
Well, every time, like when you realize the time value of your hour, right? Of your time.
And I just refigured it this year.
We've had this conversation. What you're worth an hour? I don't. I don't. And I need to figure that out. And then every time you have to, and there's situations where you have to step out. Every once in a while, a guy like me or you has to do something that is not necessarily worth our time value.
Yeah, you're going to have to eventually do something that's not worth your time value.
But if we don't have anything to compare it to, I'll give you an example. In my business, one of our businesses is a lawn care business, and there's a very high probability that for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I might be out cutting grass. But that's a business, and just like you said, because if this guy doesn't show up, somebody's got to take care of our customers. And at the end of the day, it's the guy at the top that's got to come in and say, well, nobody else is willing to do it. Now I have to jump back into this.
Well, and you have to, as a business owner, you have to do it for your family. We talked about that earlier today on the phone, and it was the same thing with my commercial cleaning company. If the crew didn't show up or there was a complaint, I was running a business during the day, and I was running that business at night. And we had rentals that I was managing. And so it's hard. It's hard to manage all of that, and it's hard to keep all that flowing and not just get burnt smooth out, because you're responsible for, I guess the biggest thing is people don't understand. They're like, oh, cool, you're the boss, you're the owner. That's not cool.
Yeah.
You have a lot of weight on your shoulders. I don't get to punch out.
No. And honestly, I don't want to be the boss. I want to be the investor.
Yeah, I want to be the guy that goes to the mailbox.
Yeah. I want to be the investor and let the boss be the boss.
Right.
Of whatever company I'm invested in or properties or whatever. So that, you're the guy that's being on the creative side of things, right?
Right.
And not having to do everything. Now, not necessarily bad, and I think probably 95% of businesses in America are run. The owner is the boss, which is an employee of the business.
Right.
I think there's very few that aren't. Just for giggles, what's the breakdown of a real estate agent and brokerage? Like when a house is sold, what percent goes to the brokerages? How's that split up between two brokerages or one or whatever? Give me those numbers.
Well, I mean, generally I charge 6%. So I'm charging a 6% commission.
Okay.
I'm comping.
Is that standard rate, 6% across the board?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm comping 3%.
For what?
To the buyer's agent.
Okay.
So I'm retaining 3%, or my brokerage is retaining 3%. Now the buyer's agency is retaining 3%. The broker then comes in, our checks go to the broker, and then they cut us a check. The percentage is going to reflect on all kinds of things. Whatever that brokerage decides that their plan is.
Okay.
And brokerages have different plans, from flat fees to 20%, 15%, all those things that they take to run the brokerage and to be profitable.
Okay. What's a typical?
I mean, typical that people are going to be doing is, 80-20. There's some that do 90-10. There's some that do 95. There's caps where you only sell, if you sell X amount of dollars, you cap and you get 100%.
Okay.
So there's a lot of dangling carrots, is what I call, in front of your face. But again, I'll revert back to the loyalty thing. Mindy and Jeff, and they were all there for me when I started. Mm-hmm. Didn't know anything. And there's not really a price tag that you can put on that. If I want to make more money, I'm going to go sell more real estate.
It's what you're really good at. And you can continue to optimize that so that you can sell more. And you've continued to do that, like outsourcing things that, you don't want to do, or you don't have the time to do, or not worth the time value of your hour.
Well, and I have, this week I've had a guy that helps me sometimes. I pay him so much per hour, and my wife's car needed the oil change and all that stuff. He's doing that stuff for me. My dry cleaning, picking that stuff up. Is it worth my time to go do that, or focus on my clients, my business, and prosper and delegate that out to somebody else?
I think it's, what's important is that you realize that the opportunity cost of doing your laundry is not worth it, because you can be doing something else. But I also think it's important that you actually do something else related to your business. I think a lot of times I find myself sometimes in this mode of, like, once I optimize something out or delegate something out, I don't maximize the time that I just gained back.
Right, like your naps.
Yes, I love naps. It's
You
important. It's
you have to
important thing
have
for me.
you have to have naps. If I could take a nap, I would, but I
Yeah,
can't. My
yeah.
brain.
Your brain won't stop.
Ting, ting, ting.
Yeah, mine. Ping pong ball bouncing around in mine till nap time. Anything else you want to add about brokerage?
If anyone is thinking about opening a brokerage, definitely think about it. Think about all the things that it's going to take to do that, because nobody wants to get into something and fail.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to get into it and succeed, and it's going to be like a business plan, and it's not for everybody. Don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do.
Sure.
I always live by that motto. Just hustle hard.
Yeah. I want to add one more thing to that. The people that started your brokerage, Mindy and Jeff, what you don't know what you don't know. If you're an agent and you're thinking about starting a brokerage, or if you're a person and you're thinking about starting a business, you don't know what you don't know. Find somebody that does know what you don't know and talk to them.
Right.
And I think loyalty is a big deal there in this industry, and with you, is that you cannot know what you don't know, but still be appreciative that somebody put the time and effort in to make it a heck of a place to work for you.
Correct.
And being grateful and thankful for what they did, even though we really have no idea what they put in to really build this thing.
Yeah. Now, I know they put a lot of sweat, blood, and tears into what they did, building the facility, getting the people on board.
Mm-hmm.
Mindy and Jeff both spend a lot of time. I've been known to sit up with Mindy at midnight. She will help me with my descriptions because I'm not good with those sometimes. Okay. So it's all those little things that you have to think about. How is this going to work?
Mm-hmm.
And can I make it work? And is it better for me to be a broker, or is it better for me to be a really good real estate agent and only rely on myself?
And you've made that decision.
I'm not going to be a broker.
You're good at what you do.
That's right.
Stick with it. If you want to make more money, sell more real estate. That's right. Thanks for joining us today. This is Goswick Lane. Hit those buttons at the bottom. Like, share, subscribe. Help us reach more people. If you've gotten any value out of this and want to continue to hear things, put some stuff in the comments. What do you want to hear about? Ask Genty some questions. Feel free to ask me some questions. We will talk about what the people want to hear. Remember, love God, love others, and let your work reflect that. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.